Okay, we're live. ¿Qué tal, amigos? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with this evening's live stream. It's 7:35 p.m., January the 7th, one day after the Magic King's Day here in Spain. The public holidays are over, the holidays are over, the Christmas season is over, everything is over as far as Christmas is concerned here, and back to normal, hopefully, as we head into the month of January, which, as we know, can be a difficult time for a lot of people, especially on their bank balances after that heavy Christmas spending, let's be honest. Now, we'll look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention today in the press here in Spain. We'll take a look at some comments that have been left on the channel in recent times by viewers also. And then in the second half of the live stream, around the 18, 19, 20-minute mark of this evening's live stream, we'll go into the chat section, check out what is happening there. So if you are watching this evening in the chat section, say hello. Say hello, please. Now, straight into the news, and the first article here, Spain's opposition party, the Partido Popular, has a new initiative, and it is to build thousands of affordable homes in the regions that they govern. The 12 autonomous communities governed by the Popular Party, the PP, have agreed on a major housing initiative to use unused public land for the construction of affordable housing. This plan, set to be formalised during a meeting with the PP leader Alberto Núñez Feijóo and the party's national leadership in Asturias on the 11th and 12th of January, marks the start of the political year for the PP. The initiative aims to address Spain's housing crisis, which has become a top concern for citizens, according to the CIS. The new strategy will allow unused public land to be repurposed for affordable housing, creating a significant stock of low-cost homes for both rent and sale. The PP intends to contrast its proposals with those of Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez, who is holding a major housing event shortly after the PP meeting. This move reflects the PP's focus on sectoral policies for 2025 and its efforts to challenge Sánchez's parliamentary majority by presenting an alternative economic and territorial vision. So that is what the opposition party is going to put on the table: affordable homes in the 12 autonomous communities where it governs. For example, Madrid, for example, Castilla y León, for example, Galicia, for example, Valencia, and for example, Andalusia, to name but a few. Extremadura also there as well. So lots of the country, 12 of the 17 autonomous communities controlled by the Partido Popular, and that is their plan. Affordable homes, affordable housing on unused land, which they will no doubt rezone for housing use. So we'll see if this initiative gets off the ground or not. We know the Prime Minister, Pedro Sánchez, has a similar ace up his sleeve. It's the 7th of January 2025, and this issue has been affecting Spaniards now for years. So finally, it seems that politicians are going to do something about it. So as I said, about time. Second piece of news here, and over 70% of Spaniards view the government as unstable and divided. Despite Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez's determination to serve out the full legislative term until 2027, tensions in parliamentary votes with coalition partners and allies have significantly impacted public opinion. According to a 40dB poll for El País and Cadena SER, 71.5% of Spaniards perceive the government is as unstable and 71.4% as divided. These perceptions vary depending on political affiliation. Among socialist voters, only 45.3% view the government as unstable, and 56.3% of Sumar voters share this view. In contrast, 90.8% of Partido Popular voters consider the government unstable. Regarding internal divisions, Sumar voters are more critical than socialist supporters. Recent frictions between the ministries of Labour, headed by Yolanda Díaz, and Economy, led by Carlos Cuerpo, over the timing and approach to implementing a shorter working week, have highlighted ongoing tensions within the coalition, adding to the public's perception of disunity. So, unstable and divided. You agree with this more or less, depending on which side of politics you sit. If you sit on the right side of politics, it's clear that is the case. This government is going nowhere. They can't get their act together. They are divided and won't last until 2027. But if you are a Socialist Party voter or a Sumar voter, around 50% of people think that the government is divided and unstable. Let me know where you sit on this matter in the comment section below or the chat. Unstable and divided, or united and strong? Let's see. Next piece of news here, and the recent Dana has redefined Spain's flood-prone map, doubling homes at risk to 2 million. The Dana storm, which caused 227 fatalities and devastated much of La Horta Sur in Valencia, has intensified scrutiny on construction in flood-prone areas. Previously, over 1 million homes in Spain were identified as being at medium risk of flooding within a 100-year return period. However, the climate crisis now necessitates consideration of lower probability events, a 500-year return, doubling the number of at-risk homes to 2.01 million, equivalent to 7.9% of Spain's housing stock. Data from the Cadastre and the National System of Cartography of Flood Zones highlights that hundreds of thousands of homes have been built in vulnerable areas, especially during the 1997 to 2008 real estate boom, when 464,000 homes were constructed in flood-prone zones. Murcia remains the region with the highest percentage of properties at risk, 26.9%, followed by Asturias, 14.3%, Cantabria, 12.9%, and the Basque Country, 12.6%. Among major cities, Seville leads with 50.5% of its homes located in flood-prone areas. And the map that was published by this newspaper, eldiario.es, for example, you can check out your city or town in Spain by putting it into the search bar and clicking, and you'll find that, for example, Seville, which, as we saw there, 50% of homes at risk of flooding. So we can see on the map the buildings at risk there in black, and also the flood areas there, or the possible flood areas there in the 100-year or 500-year time frame, as we saw. And if we go to another city in Spain, Bilbao, also we can see that there is a risk of flooding for many homes in that city there. So as I said in the title of the video today, buyer beware if you're thinking of buying property here in Spain, because maybe you're thinking of Murcia, but as we saw there, I can't remember what the exact figure was, but 26.9% of homes in the region of Murcia at risk of flooding. So almost 1 in 3. Be careful. Buyer beware, as I said. And the final piece of news today, rising prices in Spain force nearly 100,000 Spaniards to hold 3 or more jobs. The inflation crisis in Spain has led to a sharp rise in multiple job holding, with the cost of living, especially food and housing, continuing to climb. Nearly 900,000 workers have taken on more than one job to supplement their income in recent months. More strikingly, around 100,000 of these individuals are now working 3 or more jobs, according to data from Social Security accessed by El Mundo. Multiple job holding refers to employees who work for 2 or more employers in roles that require mandatory contributions to the same social security system. This trend is increasing significantly faster in Spain compared to other European countries, and has drawn attention from the Bank of Spain, which recently analysed how households across the Eurozone are responding to rising prices. So that's the reality. Nearly 100,000 Spaniards forced to hold 3 or more jobs. But according to the government, the economy is booming here. Booming. According to the economy minister, according to the prime minister, booming. But 3 jobs, you can see where we're at for a lot of people, unfortunately, given the rising cost of living crisis here in Spain, as with many other countries around the world, let's be honest, not only Spain. Now, into the comment section. We'll check out some of the comments that have been left on the channel in recent times. This one here by DF Cost-wise, old vehicles are better than new ones. You can maintain them yourself, they're more durable, and they're cheaper to buy. The regulations against these cars are usually unjustified. European regulations that are increasing by the year are not going to save the planet. Go to India. One city in India puts out more pollution than all of Spain. I'm not saying carbon monoxide isn't a problem. It's just that only a few countries are taking it seriously, and they cannot save the planet alone. And I'm sure a lot of people share the same views as DF on this, because I've seen thousands of comments left on the channel with a similar idea. And the fact of the matter is that every year the requirements for owning an old vehicle do get stricter and more difficult to pass the ITV or the MOT. Let's be honest about that. We saw the other day in Murcia that there was a scam going on. Again, Murcia, so risk of flooding and also car scams going on in that part of Spain. That an ITV station there was just passing cars that weren't roadworthy at all. It ended up with some cars being involved in accidents and people dying, most notably one young 1-year-old girl, unfortunately, in the region of Murcia as a result of one of these old cars. And it could be true, what this person says, that old vehicles are better than new ones. Cost-wise, maintain them yourself, if you have some mechanical skills, that is. And also, they're more durable and cheaper. But the government wants these cars off the road. And you don't have to go to India to see high levels of pollution and old cars driving around. Go to Morocco, go to Algeria, go to anywhere in the north of Africa, in close proximity to Spain, and you will see a lot of the vehicles that are not roadworthy here driving around in those countries with no problems at all. So thank you very much for the comment. Another one here from Koffer. Spain went to the dogs decades ago. They should thank their lucky stars that the euro has been propping them up in recent times. Thanks for the positive comment there, Koffer. Spain went to the dogs decades ago. And again, some people would agree with you on that. Other people would not. Some people would. That Spain has gone to the dogs and been there for a while now. But we push on. We've gone through various crises over the last decades here in Spain, and Koffer's right. The European Union has bailed Spain out on more than one occasion, especially during the banking crisis when a lot of Spain's banks went belly up and European money flooded into the country, and all of the bankers said, thank you very much. Thank you very much, European Union. Thank you very much, European taxpayers, for your generosity. And as a result, the big banks in Spain became bigger and richer, and a lot of the dodgy ones disappeared, of course. But there was a lot of dodgy activity going on during those days when the real estate market here in Spain was booming, also as a result of being in the European Union, with European money flocking into the country and people spending it on property. But the most recent crisis that we saw, the COVID crisis, the economy crashed, and the bailout came shortly afterwards from the generous, as I said before, European Union. Thanks, Koffer. Another one here from Penrose. MOT stations in the UK are centrally linked, and any dodgy ones would be soon identified and prosecuted by the police stopping vehicles. Thanks, Penrose, for that comment. Here in Spain, that is not the case. The MOT stations or ITV stations belong to the autonomous communities, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I think that is the case. So you get a similar system countrywide, but there might be some slight changes as the way they are handed out, or the licenses are handed out according to the autonomous community. I think that's the way it works here. And Murcia, as we saw, those 11 or 12 people being arrested the other day because they were passing non-roadworthy cars, basically probably for a fee, and those cars getting back on the road and becoming a danger to everyone else, basically, as we saw, which is the case of lots of dodgy vehicles that are driving around. I asked myself the question the other day, and I'll ask it again: why do I have to go through a strict ITV process when I see 40-year-old vehicles being driven by some people around the streets that clearly would not pass the MOT or the ITV case, but they circulate around the roads here in Spain? The mind boggles. Another one here from Alton. Hello, Stu. Hope you're having a great day. What happens to the golden visa holders now that the golden visa scheme is over? Thanks. Good question, Alton. I'm not really up to speed on this because I don't offer advice to people moving to Spain professionally. If somebody wants to ask me a few questions, sure, go ahead. But there are people that are offering professional advice on this. I don't know whether they're professionals, but they offer professional advice. And they'll probably be able to give you the answer. I suppose, just speaking for the sake of speaking, that the people that currently hold a golden visa, the visa will just be renewed when the time comes up and substituted with another type of visa, I would imagine. The name golden visa is, I think it's just the name that the press uses, this golden visa scheme. I don't think that's the actual name of the visa on the piece of paper that you get. It's probably called something else, and I'm sure the government will just substitute it with another one because people have invested large sums of money in Spain, and they're not going to have their visas cancelled and those sums leaving the country. I can almost guarantee that. So, like I said, other people will know the exact answer, but that's my uneducated answer there. So if anybody has a better answer than me, comment section or chat. Another one here from Barry. I'm in Gran Canaria for some winter. Love your channel, Stu. Thanks, Barry. Yeah, the Canary Islands are all over the press at the moment. Images where it's freezing cold here in the center of Spain in Madrid. Images of people in swimming pools and walking around in shorts and T-shirts and flip-flops or thongs. Thongs meaning the footwear that we call it in Australia, not the bathing suit that goes up the crack of your behind. The Canary Islands are a very, very popular destination at this time of year, and I hope you enjoy your holiday there in Gran Canaria. I'm looking for a winter escape myself, so I could be heading to the Canaries very, very shortly, but it all depends on a couple of things, whether or not I can get cheap flights and a decent hotel price, and we'll see if I go to one of the many Canary Islands destinations in maybe in February. I don't know. Hopefully, as I said, to get a little bit of winter sun. Thanks, Barry, for that. And the final one here from Ken regarding the Albufera. Is there going to be a shortage of bomber rice? I would assume so. Think I'm going to stock up now. Probably a good idea to stock up, Ken. I would if I were you. That area was very heavily affected by the Dana with various types of contamination and other debris going into that part of Valencia, just south of Valencia, of course, and it could have affected the rice industry there. I don't know, but I would say that it has. So the price of bomber rice for your paella might go up, so stock up, Ken. The price of olive oil is coming down. The price of bomber rice could be going up as a result. I say could. Now, I'm going to go into the chat in just a moment. Before I do, I'm going to change the backdrop. This photo was sent in by Patrick. It's a picture of Valencia, of course, with these very modern buildings there in Valencia that were built during the heady days of Spain's real estate boom, when the Valencian community thought that it was Saudi Arabia or Dubai or one of these rich areas there, and they built buildings like this. And thanks, Patrick, for sending the picture through. And if you've got a picture that you would like to see on the backdrop, the email address is on the screen now, spainspeaks@gmail.com. Feel free to send them through, whether it's a picture like this one from Patrick, whether it's a picture of another part of Spain, the mountains, the coast. Maybe you went to a nice restaurant and you like the scenery from the from the windows of the restaurant, feel free, or the food on the table, whatever, send it through to the email address that you have on top of the screen at the moment. The like icon is also on the screen now if you haven't hit it. We're currently sitting at 59. So if you could do me a favor and hit that like button, you'll find it just below the video. So let's see if we can get up to a decent tally today. 59 currently, 60 now. Let's see if we get up to 61. Let's see. All right, there we go. 61 likes currently on the... Oh, no, we've... oh, yes, there we go, 61. Now, what else do I have to do? I have to thank people that have supported the channel in recent times, whether it's on the super thanks or super chat option here on YouTube. People that have bought me a coffee. Morris bought me 3 coffees just before I went live this evening. Thank you very much for that, Morris. And longer term supporters on Patreon, again, thank you very much for that continuing support. It is very, very important for the channel that I get viewer support in order to keep producing videos. And also the channel members on the YouTube channel as well. You can join from... I've actually changed this. There's a new option now which works out to be a little bit cheaper as well. So there's 3 options now if you want to become a member of my YouTube channel. You have that option too. So just go to the channel homepage, click join, and you can see some of the benefits or perks for becoming a member of the channel and supporting the channel and being a valued member of the community, which I consider to be very, very important. Now, I'm going to go into the chat section now. Let me just scroll up to the top. Let's see what's happening here. Not a lot going on in the chat section, I will say, so I should be through fairly quickly. Andrew is the first person that I can see here. A high of 2 degrees here in London southeast. Hope you're all having a good start to the week. Thanks, Andrew, for that. Thank you. Not a bad start. Monday. What day is it today? Tuesday, I think it is today. It was a school holiday, so I'm a bit lost at the moment. Son wasn't at school, so not back into the routine yet. They start tomorrow. Barbara in the chat too, valued member, as is Andrew that we saw before. Playa Flamenca, 17 degrees and sunny with a cold breeze. Had a great weekend at Alcoy for the 3 Kings. Thanks, Barbara, for that. 3 Kings done and dusted for another year. Kids have got their presents. Got plenty of lollies or candy in their pockets and ready for a trip to the dentist come mid-year, no doubt. Andrew coming in from Amarinha, very windy, wet and mild with temperatures in the mid-teens. Thanks, Andrew, for that. The Galician weather update there. Amanda's coming in from a chilly UK. Thanks, Amanda. Good to see you today. Dom, Florida, United States, soon to be Bilbao residents. Good luck with that, Dom. I'm sure you will enjoy your time in that city and the surrounding areas of Bilbao. One of my favorite parts of the country when it's not pouring with rain, that is. But great food, great scenery around there, some great beaches as well. Also some good surfing beaches up there in Bilbao too. Renan coming in from Los Angeles, California. Good to see you, Renan, regular viewer. Richard, valued member, in the chat here too. Good evening from Pizarra in Malaga. Arrived on Saturday in time for the 3 Kings parade at the Estación de Cártama, I think that is. It was fantastic. Been lovely today, 18 degrees and full sun. Nice to escape the UK weather. I can imagine that is the case, considering that it's freezing at the moment and 18 degrees where you are. I'm sure that seems like almost a summer day. Carmen coming in from Santa Monica, California, 18 degrees, expected to be 21 there today. Dangerous Santa Ana winds through Wednesday. Currents, dry terrain. It's an extreme fire danger in Southern California. We know that part of the world prone to serious fires, Carmen, so take care. High flyer John, another valued member in the chat, coming in from a very cold Essex in the United Kingdom. Tony also coming in from a cold UK. Carol's just simply saying hi. Thanks, Carol. Hi back to you. Ian coming in from a sunny Dorset, so breaking the trend in the UK, sunny there. Gold geologist coming in from a cold but sunny San Antonio, Texas. Erica coming in from a coolish Terrassa, 18 degrees. No more gourmet cooking and no more wine selections. Have a great week. Thanks, Erica, for that. Valued member Janet, too, coming in from Oxford. I recognise the Torre del Oro on the Guadalquivir River near Seville. I've also seen the Torre de la Plata and the Torre del Bronce near the Casa de la Moneda. Thanks, Janet. Yeah, I highlighted Seville because of that risk of flooding, which was what we were speaking about today. 50% of homes in Seville. St. Pete, Dave coming in from Florida, St. Petersburg. Florida cold, 12 degrees Celsius. Bit chilly, Dave. Bit chilly in Florida today, 12 degrees Celsius, not the usual low 20s. Julia, Stuart, bet not late to Bet not late to wish you a happy new year. Not too late, Julia. I'm not sure what the protocol is for New Year's wishes when it officially becomes something we shouldn't do. Is it the 10th? Is it the 15th? Don't know. Finally, we have somebody in a warmer climate. Eddie coming in from Cairns in Australia, 27 degrees Celsius, which is probably a fairly decent temperature for this time of the year up there in Cairns. 4:35 a.m. Actually a bit hot, if to tell you the truth. But what would we expect in that part of northern Queensland? Shiny, shiny things. Glad to hear there are efforts in governments, both national and local, to better the housing situation. Yeah, as a result of thousands of people protesting. It's not a government-led initiative. It's a people-led protest that's forcing the initiative to take place. Should have been done before, but it's happening. It's not happening yet. There's just ideas on the table. Who knows when the homes will be built, if built at all, and where will they be built? That's another question. Lorcan coming in from Ireland, where we are freezing our nuts off the bolts. Thanks, Lorcan, for cleaning that one up. Chilly all over that part of the world. United Kingdom, Ireland, chilly. Charlie, just joined in time to hear about thongs and behinds. Yeah, well, in Australia we call if you use the word thong, it refers to footwear that you would wear in the summer months. Flip-flops are what people call them in other places. And, of course, the word thong, more associated with the, how would I say, the bathing suit or underwear that goes in places that other things don't go in, to put it in a nice way. Gold geologist, Stu, age of a vehicle and external physical appearance does not necessarily indicate mechanical condition. I have older vehicles that are mechanically perfect but appear bad as camouflage from theft. Yeah, well, you have to see the vehicles that I'm talking about, gold geologist. They're just basically, don't know how they stay on the roads, basically. The wheels, the tyres haven't been changed for who knows how long. You've also got headlights and lights that are not working. Anyone who knows what I'm talking about will back me up on this. Absolutely terrible condition vehicles. And I understand that the age of a vehicle and the physical appearance doesn't necessarily mean that the engine is not good, that it's not a safe car to run, but the ones that I'm talking about. Athers, lovely weather in Tenerife. Yeah, as I mentioned that just before. Fantastic weather there. Carmen, Chef Jose Andres received a Presidential Medal of Freedom in Washington, D.C. this past weekend for his disaster relief efforts. It's the highest civilian honor in the United States. Yeah, I saw old Mr. Biden handing them out the other day. I think I saw Denzel Washington get one as well. I saw this one on the news here because it made the Spanish news. I think some other people got them. Probably don't know how many people in total get them, but I remember seeing Denzel Washington's face there. and of course Chef Jose Andres. Probably wouldn't get one when Mr. Trump comes into power, old Jose Andres, because from what I hear, they don't see eye to eye. The Spanish chef and the incoming US president. Jillian coming in here also had a good Three Kings. I was like 80 tonight. Thanks for that. Like number 80. We're up to 104 now, Jillian. So thanks for your contribution there. Mick, all from a cold, snowy Liverpool, going to Tenerife in a few weeks. Hope the anti-tourist brigade don't mind me coming to spend my money. I don't think, Mick, you'll get much flack or any issues with the anti-tourist protesters down there in Tenerife. They'll pop up probably in a couple of months' time, but at the moment, I think it's all fairly low key at the moment. These protests. G'day from Toronto, Diffie back. Haven't seen Diffie for a while. Balmy 15 degrees there. Colder than Stu's sense of humour. Thanks, Diffie, for that. Why did Bono receive the same medal? Yeah, I heard that old Bono got one as well. Don't know. Can't really answer that. There were a few other controversial medal receivers, I think. But, yeah. There is no housing crisis as half of Spain's villages are empty. Well, the fact of the matter is, Dowie, that people don't want to live in those empty villages. That's why they're empty. They want to live in cities. They want to live in towns where they have services. And good luck trying to convince somebody to go and live in the middle of nowhere in one of these villages that you're talking about here. So thanks for the comment. Brian is talking about the Aussie surfer killed by a great white. West side, you're from there near Perth, I think. I think this bloke was killed in South Australia, Brian, which is known for its great white shark activity. Also, where I come from, there have been people taken by sharks over the years. Surfers most commonly because they like to bob around in the sea on their surfboards, and of course, you have to share the space with a great white sometimes. Although I was a surfer for many, many years, I don't practice much nowadays living in Madrid. But when I was a young man and bobbing around in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Perth, or down in the southern region of Western Australia, the thought never really crossed my mind of sharks. I suppose it's better that way. But when you see these attacks every now and again, and unfortunately, as pointed out here, that person being taken by a shark, but South Australia it was, I think, Brian, or at least if we're talking about the same one. Antonio saying that we need houses in Spain. It's the best news because when the government changes, the Spanish economy is going to boom with construction. Thanks, Antonio. Yeah, I'm sure that will happen, of course, because as we said, though, the Partido Popular and the current government have plans to build housing. Helen was in Tenerife over Christmas, astonishingly warm in Puerto de la Cruz compared to the Costa del Sol where she lives, but snow on the Teide mountain. Yeah, that's the characteristic, isn't it? You can get warm coastal areas like Puerto de la Cruz, and look up and see the Teide with snow on the top of it. Yeah, it's amazing. Greetings from Asturias. Grant, haven't seen Grant for a while. Good to see you back in the chat here, Grant. Brian, also a Spanish college student, was killed by a stressed out elephant in Thailand. Sorry for being the bearer of bad news. Yeah, we saw that one as well. Don't think I mentioned it here on the channel, Brian, but I did read it in the press that the college student from Valladolid, I think it was killed by an elephant. Got to be in the wrong place at the wrong time for that to happen, I suppose. Grant saying that for the last year and a half, I've been suffering through the street remodeling because of flooding. So much dirt. Thanks, Grant. I think I remember that event back in the day, and a year and a half suffering the street remodeling. There's also people in Malaga at the moment complaining because they were affected also by a Dana around the same time as the Valencian Dana, but since no one died, they're complaining that they're not getting the attention necessary to their problems, and they want somebody to clean the mess up. It's not happening. So, yeah, it's an issue. Carol coming in from New Jersey. Jimbo, I should say, not Jimmy. I was going to say Jimmy there, but Jimbo back in the chat. Diffie has a 50-year-old, Diffie is 50 years old, and his engine runs really well according to his wife. A little bit of cold humour there from Diffie as well, adding to the conversation today. Thanks, Diffie. Hope your engine keeps working. What else we got going on here? Let's have a look. Christine coming in, a bit late. Happy New Year to everyone. Thanks, Christine, for that, valued member. Andrew says, one job that he had in Spain many years ago, he had to drive an old Renault van that had no headlights or doors and never once got stopped by the police. Thanks, Andrew, for that. Yeah, the police, I've never been stopped by the police either, to be honest. But then again, I don't drive around in a vehicle with those characteristics. Chris, Ola Stewart, hope 2025 is good for you and your hopes and dreams come true for all of us. Thanks, Chris. What else we got going on here? Different Gear TV, I think I saw here. Let me have a look. The vehicles that stop to check what's in the bins by men with mustaches do not look roadworthy, to say the least. Lots of smoke coming out, bald tires, broken lights, the list goes on. That's one group of people that drive dodgy vehicles in Spain, people that go around getting stuff out of the bin. And there's another group of people as well that drive around. They normally come around with loudspeakers on the top of their vans asking you for different things. Also with vehicles that don't look to be roadworthy for me. But I could be wrong. Italian therapy is Gina saying here, hello, love your vids in Portugal. Looking forward to following you. Fun. Thanks for that. Yeah, I put some Portuguese videos in. I'm not going to say Portuguese videos, some videos I did in Portugal out recently. Some people took them well, but a lot of the locals in Portugal didn't seem too happy with those videos because they're complaining that, again, like the Spanish people here, that all of the problems that they have are due to tourists and foreign residents. Nothing to do with the way that the country's been run for the last 50 years, but anyway, what can we do? Who's this? Beard Bird, I think it is. Hola todos, right outside Daytona Beach, 10 degrees Celsius, and we'll go down to 1 degree overnight, or tomorrow night. Lots of folks don't have clothing for this cold weather. I feel really bad for the homeless. Yeah, it's an issue when you are in those places that don't often get cold, and when they do get cold snaps, a lot of people get caught out. My Italian, again saying here, found you on your Portugal visits, watching from upstate New York, United States, moving to Portugal 2025. Look forward to watching your channel. Cheers and happy New Year. The majority of the content is about Spain, so you probably realize that by now, but every now and again when I get to Portugal, I put out a few videos. Paradox Parade, shark attacks and ice cream sales is a textbook example of causation, is that? Not being equal to correlation. Both shark attacks and ice cream sales rise in the summer because people are at the beach in that time. Thanks, Paradox, for that. Yeah, it could be the case, but surfers get taken all year round whenever there is an attack. Winter months as well. But thanks for the example, the one that your statistics professor used as an example. Stephen's in the chat, valued member, coming in from a chilly North London. And Italian therapy, yes, all about knows that we're about Spain. My new neighbour, and of course nothing is caused by the way these countries are run, LOL. No, that's it. But there's been lots of Portuguese content put on the internet in recent times. I don't want to, blow my own horn here, but I was probably a pioneer putting out videos about Portugal when I first put one out many years ago. Got lots of views, and as a result of that, I'm sure other people living in Portugal started putting out content as well, and lots of Portuguese content on the internet nowadays. But as I said, some of the locals a bit irate with the with all of the social media hype about Portugal. And Jimbo saying Australia won the cricket, the 5th test. Yes, they did. The Indian team were not happy. Let me tell you about that. That the Aussies wrapped that test up in 3 days, bowling them out. It also probably helped that India's best bowler was retired hurt, and the Aussie batsmen were able to have their way with the other bowlers, as they say. But yeah, always interesting, these Aussie-India, Australia-India clashes in the cricket. If you're not a cricket fan, I apologise for for the next couple of minutes while I talk about this. But I'm going to say that the India or the Australia-India rivalry is getting up there with the Australia-England rivalry as far as cricket is concerned, especially when the Indian team, as they so often do, spit the dummy. Some of their high-profile players, you know the ones I'm talking about, cricket fans, they spit the dummy all the time when they don't get their way. These Indian cricket players. That I'll leave it at that. I don't want to offend too many people with what I could say about this. But yeah, on that note, I'm going to wrap the live stream up. It's been a pleasure as always. I'll be back again on Thursday with another one. Should be a restaurant video coming out tomorrow if I finish editing it. My editing software has recently been updated with some new things, so I'm trying some new techniques out. So hopefully I'll get that video out tomorrow sometime. Live stream on Thursday, as I said. Hope to see you there. Hasta luego, hasta entonces, adios, and bye-bye.